but they have hope to survive. So it gives me energy. Our book purpose is an input, becomes an input. If there is an income comes from the book, it goes to help them, to these women. And somehow, somewhere, I lost myself, I lost my energy. That's when I think, I need to get my energy back. I need to take care of myself.
We Drive It podcast, the journey of the young CEOs with Glory Jolly. Welcome back to another episode of We Drive It podcast. It's a podcast where we talk to amazing young CEOs, young innovators, and young entrepreneurs shaping their industries. I'm your host, Glory Jolly. Sorry guys for my voice. I hope you're gonna flow with this. And guys, I'm so happy to give you good news that this is episode 10 of We Drive It podcast. It was not easy, but to reach where I am, it's because of you. For your support, your advice, and you joining me to tell us your journey in We Drive It podcast. Thank you guys, and I really appreciate. Let's continue to push it and let's drive it to impact other young people out there in the world. And today here in We Drive It podcast, joining us, she's not just originally entrepreneur. She's a force for change in our country and community. Do you know which country, guys? It's Ethiopia. I'm in Ethiopia. Oh, I think soon you'll hear I'm in USA. She's been doing a lot of changes in our community. She will tell us more. What is she doing in our community? Please welcome B, guys. I think you're asking, is it her real name? No, I call B because she's the one who told me I call her B. I met her last year. She came in Uganda. We had a certain fellowship together, and it was really amazing moment. I may say it was a great moment of gaining experience from each other, live experience, connecting together. Me and her, she's from another country, I'm in another country. We're really connected, and it was really easy to enter in her space, and also it was really easy to enter in my space. But she will introduce herself and pronounce it well, her name. Yeah, all that. So, be a passionate advocate for human rights and the founder of Wegahta CSO. So, B, it's an honor to have you here to share your inspiration journey with us. You're most welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me for this amazing podcast. Yeah, my name is Birhan Gebrekirstos.
That's why I was very struggling to pronounce this name. It's kind of a little bit difficult.
Yes, you can call me B. Oh, it's a green name.
Okay, I'll call you B. So B, can you give us introduction about yourself? Because you're doing a lot. You are a human rights advocate. You are a lecturer. You are a researcher. You are a founder of Wegahta. You are author. You have a lot. Tell us. And I think that's where you will start to tell us where your journey began.
Thank you. My journey starts, as a woman. I live in rural area in Ethiopia, in Tigray.
Okay.
I was born in Tigray region and called in rural area. So while growing up, I have seen mothers, women's challenges. So through that, I have been working through like two women, supporting women. Why women? Why always women? Why is the pain more bigger in women? So that's always a concern for me, including for myself, including for my sisters. I have 5 sisters, so it was a big concern. So growing up, my life was concerning a woman issue, and with that challenges, I see powerful women, resilient women during the journey they have been going. So I love being a woman. So while growing up, I was like wanting a pilot, and that's why I learned in engineering field. But parallelly, been working volunteer jobs in children and women CSOs in many organizations. If I have there is a school, there is a volunteer job always. That was my journey, my whole journey. So it happened when the pilot test, I become short for 1 centimeter past.
So, Bien, it means there is a certain level, certain age that you need to have to be a pilot.
1.66 was like when the time I was examined, it was 1.66 centimeter for women. So yeah, I couldn't make that through that. So that was okay. I joined the lecture. It gives me this journey. That was different journey. This is another Birhan.
Wow, I think now you're the pilot of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, you're right. And in everywhere, I know I can do my best, and I can fulfill what I want, and I can achieve at least through the challenging circumstances that I'm sure that I can do. That even though I never discourage myself. I cannot do this, so I don't want to try this. Like that never happened to my mind. That never came to my mind. That topic never came to my mind. So I joined the lecture university and became lecturer. So I was doing a lecture and a researcher in Mekelle University, and I had also many related projects with IT and women connected. A genocidal war in Tigray region that comes from 3 countries. It attacks from Eritrea, Ethiopia, and other countries and other regions that attack Tigray. So it was a full war, especially for women. It was like every minute, it was like challenging. You pray to pass with life to survive. It was all about survival, even though for one day. So it was very difficult time. So I couldn't hide myself, frightening. Today I might die, or tomorrow I might gonna die. So I just joined to the volunteer team. There was many people who came from rural areas, from the other part of Tigray, from western Tigray to the capital city of Tigray, Mekelle, which I'm living now also.
Okay.
So there were people who migrate from the other part of area Tigray, from western Tigray, from eastern Tigray so there were many people, internally displaced persons, living in shelters, living in schools, living in streets. So without anything, they don't have anything to eat, to drink. They don't have even any clothes with them, because it was horrific that happened to them. They were killed. They were hunting by the enemy. So they were just running to survive. So they came to Mekelle, to the capital city. So I've been doing a volunteer job in the areas which the IDP people was living in schools. I think my volunteer for passion becomes my way of survival, my ways of healing. If I hadn't doing a volunteer, I could have died. That's my belief, because it was stressful. I could have died by killing by myself also through that horrific time. But the volunteering helps me to survive. That, okay, I'm doing something. At least let me survive today, because I'm doing something for someone, for some woman. I'm helping something. So I need to survive. That encourages me a lot. So, challenges makes you stronger, even though the horrific times I believe that makes me stronger. I become lucky. I'm not one of them, but they are my sisters, they are my young sisters, they are my mother. So life gives me a hope to help some people, some women. So that gives me a bright future, bright of survival, encourage me, empower me to live, to survive the situation. I never gave up in that darkness. I never gave up. I had full hope that this will pass. After that, I was documenting sexual violence victim survivor stories, and I documented it in a book with a friend of mine. It's called Sister Mulu. She's been working with sexual violence victims. Also, she's been supporting them. And it happened to be, when I was do the volunteer job, I happened to be listening many perfect stories. At first, I would just listen and just, if I have an internet, there was a blackout in Tigray. It was closed. There was no light, there was no internet, but there was internet in UN organizations. So I've been working a volunteer job, so they gave me an access for 1 hour. So through that, I was advocating the situation in Tigray, try to document and published it in a book with Sister Mulu.
So, B, is it that book of tearing the body, breaking the spirit?
Yeah, it is. It's about women's story, horrific women's story, sexual violence, wartime conflict stories, and it's true stories, real stories of the Tigrayan women who have been raped from age 8 to age 78, women's mothers. nuns, children, young girls who doesn't know anything about boys. So it's full of stories, the book, and first written in our language, in my native language called Tigrinya. The name is Meqanit.
Wow, Meqanit. It was really difficult to pronounce it, but really, yeah.
Yeah, it means it's an instrument, torturing instrument.
Okay.
So they use women as a torturing instrument, as a woman as a genocide, torturing
really
women
bad.
as a crime against humanity. So yeah, that's why.
Oh, this is really touchful journey and emotion journey. I'm trying to imagine how things were during that time and how women were suffering. It's really painful. Really, B, you're doing incredible work, and continue. Out of that, I felt myself quiet to listen this journey of her, how she started and how she managed this. And it's a part of emotion thing. Really, I'm speechless. But let's continue with the journey. B, your work touched upon some incredible sensitive and challenge issues. How do you maintain the balance between being invested in your advocacy and maintaining level to a professional way, detached with effectively addressing these issues?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as you mentioned, it's very challenging. It's very emotional. It makes you to hate everything, to hate even your life.
Yeah.
It challenges you, especially a little bit much better from the victim perpetrators more and more. And it gives you, negative energy. It gives you zero energy to the world even, not only to the perpetrators, to the world who says human rights organizations, UN organizations who have to prevent this situation from civilians, especially for international women organizations. It gives you zero hope and challenges you in many ways. I think one thing gives me to keep moving forward is I know many women and sisters, they're my sisters, my mothers, they're my family. My family is among one of them. My cousins are among one of them. So I saw they're going through very complicated challenges, through psychological challenges, through physical pains, because what happened to them, through economical challenges, but they have hope to survive. So it gives me energy. I have to see the worst thing that gives me an energy, gives me to survive to the genocidal war, prevents me from many things, from killing myself, from being in a very depression.
Guys, the journey of B, it's really taking me very far. But what I can say, B, congratulations again. You're doing incredible work, and you putting yourself in their shoes, in whatever they're passing through. It's really, really great and powerful. I may say continue doing that, because this will bring much more hope to other more women, the women you've been dealing with. Or that I take you back about the book, although you've talked about it. So what made you to write this book, and what are the impact of this book?
The purpose was a lot, because one, it have to be documented, because there are women who gave me their testimony and passed away after that. What happened to them? So one thing documentation is you document the stories at the right time, in a right place, so that it cannot be forgettable. This is story, even though they're painful, they shouldn't be forgettable for the community itself, for the world itself. Those who do a rehabilitation, even though they couldn't protect it from the scratch, they will do a rehabilitation on women. So the second purpose was an input. What happened, to show the scale of the violence in women, in girls in the Tigray war, to show the scale of the pain that they are going through. Justice. It's the huge part of healing is getting justice. Our book purpose is becomes an input for the rehabilitation for the international or local organizations, to show the community what happened to this woman. After that, if there is an income comes from the book, it goes to help them to this woman. So proceeding income from the book comes directly to support to this woman. We sell many books, especially in our native language. We distribute it all over the world. So we sell like 2,500 books.
Wow, that's really a good number. So far, how many books or copies have you sold so far?
In Tigrinya, it's more than, in the native language, it's more than 3,000. In English, I don't have the numbers, but it's on Amazon. So it's available online in hard copy and in soft copy. But many people get it because many organizations, many journalists, many researchers, international researchers are contacting me because of the book. So I can see the scale of the book, and we managed to send the copies to the human rights organizations, in UN organizations, other organizations who can work on rehabilitation, so that it can be a reference for them. And we get like 2 million in Ethiopian birr. We donate it to the foundation.
Wow, that's really, again, congrats. It's good money. So give us a process. How does this money support these women in your foundation?
The foundation established to support these women in a holistic healing way. The psychosocial support, economical support, and the medical support, to provide these supports for these women and girls who live in rural areas, especially. So, and I am the founder, but there are people who works on the organization, that GBV experts and other experts with these survivors. So they support psychosocial support, medical support, economical support that can change them a life change, that can bring them a livelihood. It's part of the healing.
So for little conclusion is, after publishing this book, selling copies, is this where the Wegahta came out?
Yeah, it starts like when the book published, we started immediately the foundation. We established the foundation, even though I have been working through the rehabilitation, through that journey, but we make it a foundation. So it's like almost 2 years now. It's going well.
Wow, that's really a good approach and unique. You started with the book, then from the book, you open our foundation. You have been doing a lot, and a part of it, it's human advocate. How has it been to stand for women or women to get their right?
It's controversial because it's not still protected, even though you shout, you talk, you explain day and night, you ask, because you're not the implementer. As advocate, you just ask to show the situation in the ground, to explain, to reach out the organizations, especially human rights organizations, to show them, to tell them, to explain them what's on the ground, especially on the women. So it's, it gives you a relief, and it gives you some energy to keep moving forward, because you see some hopes, and women are always victims, and it doesn't answer anytime soon, but you keep going. I think that's the challenge for advocates also, because it's a process. So
I think this is what I bring back to our listeners, that especially as young people, whatever you do, there is challenge, and even if there's many challenges, you don't need to give up. You need to keep going, and sometimes when you see hope, that is something you need to hold, which will help you to achieve it one day. Back again to you, B. You have been facing a lot, and your journey involves a lot of emotion. So how do you take care of yourself and finding the energy to keep making a difference?
Well, at first I thought living in a dark situations, I thought it helps for the group I support. So being part of it is another thing, yes. But at first I was neglecting myself from taking care of, from living a life. But and somehow, somewhere, I lost myself, I lost my energy. That's when I think, I need to get my energy back. I need to take care of myself. Come on, wake up, so that you can support more, so that you can live more, to energize yourself every time. So I start going to the church 1 one of the things that helps me. And also I go to the gym. I think that's my safe space.
Wow, I will love that. That's what I wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, gym is my safe space. So I go to the gym for 1 hour, like 4 times a week. So it becomes my safe space. You need safe space for yourself. Like, I think a lot about myself. It might not work for other people, but you need to find a safe space.
Wow, once again, I can say that's what I wanted to hear from you, B, because you've been talking about what you're doing, which is a lot. You have your team, all that. I wanted to hear your part,
Yeah.
B, as a both a researcher and a teacher, how do you link your life's experiences into your work?
I think the difficult part for me is the lecturer part is in engineering field. The thing I work is on the social field. So, sometimes it doesn't fit, but overall it's changing community, right? Education is about community, about changing community, about changing your students. In a university, it's not like high school, it's not elementary, it's just an experience. Not only the knowledge, but it's an experience, it's a life experience. So it's about building a generation or community. So yeah, that makes it similar, the connecting.
Oh, always I just say in the previous conversation, the journey that we are in and we're still in, there's something that you're happy, you're proud of. And maybe I bring back to you, B, what is something that you're proud of? Is it a project? Is it something that you're really proud of in the journey you are in and you are still on?
I think one project is publishing my book, and a recent project that I got winning, the DW Academy project that I'm proud of. It was an idea, and it becomes a life. Like short period of time, it changes to a life. So it's about focus and it's about giving your energy. I think so. DW Academy shows me a lot of things, especially about ideas. And there is a woman who happened to get a baby from the rapist. She's a young girl. She doesn't know what to do. She has been trying to avoid her baby. She wants to be apart from her baby. She doesn't want to get back to her family because of the stress, because of the community stigma. She just isolated herself, and I found her somewhere. We get connected. Now she's living with her grandma.
Wow.
Even though it's difficult, it's not cool every day, but she's trying. So she's my project. I'm proud. She's seeing the future now.
Wow, that's so really powerful and inspiring milestone within what you've been doing in her journey. But also love to hear from you, B, your milestone, personal milestone that you are very happy about it.
Yeah, I think I didn't mention this before, but I am a mother. That's a big milestone for me.
Okay.
So that's a big milestone in this difficult situation. My little baby gives me hope every day. Looking at her, seeing at her, and now I am even changing my profession. From engineering to social science to gender areas. So I'm getting my master's by the next year that I achieved in this volunteer job. It's a big milestone for me, but internally, I know I am growing and I'm shining inside.
Yeah, you're really shining and continuing to shine. So, B, we are going at the end of the podcast, at the end of the conversation. Before we close up, I would love you to give one powerful anything for these young women who are young entrepreneurs, young innovators, young CEOs doing something to the community and they're shocking them.
Me, I believe women can do anything if she wants. Women can do anything and can get a support from both, from men, also from women. Also, it's okay to seek support. It's okay to ask. It's okay to explore. Please keep going and keep digging.
Yes, that's still so powerful. I believe young women out there, pick it and let's give you more energy to continue to do more thing to yourself, but also for the community. But also men still can pick something from there. Yeah. B, I want to thank you once again, but listeners, I can only imagine. But hey, it's all a part of the journey, right? So thank you again, B, for being with me for the beginning of the journey up to the end of the journey. But the journey doesn't end here in We Drive It podcast. Still, it's continue in a normal life of B.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me, for having me in this amazing podcast. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's B, and that's how we are ending this conversation today. I believe my listeners, you have learned a lot, and for me, what I can say, it was a truly change maker at heart. Wise word in there. Thank you again, B, sharing your incredible, powerful, touchful journey. And to all our listeners, remember to follow us in MCI Radio app, to listen to podcasts in Spotify for podcaster, but my personal space is in AfriPod. Just follow me with Drive It Podcast. Until next time, keep driving towards your dream. Bye-bye.